going back up. It's supposed to count down, not count up. Hey everybody, Meteorologist Tuttle here with you. Anytime you get a software update, coders like to change stuff and not tell you. So it's fun to kind of figure out what happens. Sometimes they're bugs, sometimes they're called features. Anyway, glad you're here. We're going to talk about some weather here for tonight that's going to be quite interesting to you. Kind of cover several things from freeze to severe weather to just the weather in general coming up this weekend. So glad you're here. Kick back, hang tight. We're going to get to all of that and more. And I'm going to do it as fast as possible. So it's just about, 9:35 or so. And we'll get right to it. So hey, YouTube, by the way. Thanks you guys for checking in and commenting here on the chat section. Also on Twitter and Periscope, thanks for joining in there. See you guys have chimed in, several of you hanging out. So if you have any questions, shoot them my way. Hold them until I'm about finished at the end of the broadcast, and then I'll get to you a little bit better that way. Of course, my patrons on the live weathercast, on the closed group, secret Facebook page. Again, glad to have you guys. And then on the main page as well. So a lot of you in the house tonight. So again, if you have any questions, hold them until I'm finished talking about the weather, and then I'll try to answer a few of you as we go. All right, everything's looking good on my end. If you're not looking good, give me a thumbs down or whatever, but I think we're ready to rock and roll. So like I said, every now and then you get a few bugs, and every now and then everything goes nice and smooth. And I got to get it nice and smooth because we got severe weather season here. We pretty much start around the middle of March on average on the calendar, and it runs to about the middle of June. So we're pretty much right on time. And what's going on there? Oh,
there's no logo, nothing.
Okay, got it. So let's get on with it, shall we? That was just for the logo, right? Talking to Jody, she's came in here. So I told her, so if you see any problems, just come in here and tell me. All right, let's get on with it. Let's see here. First things first. Okay, so this is a great graphic the Weather Service just put up today. It's a good reminder that for you guys and gals that just love to get those plants out early, you might want to hold off just a smidge. So this is the date of the last freeze, the average date. So you can see northwest Oklahoma, you gotta wait till basically mid-April. I know that stinks, but that's the way it goes. Now in southern parts of Oklahoma, Durant, down here south of the metro, down Wichita Falls, you know what? All you gotta do is wait about another couple of weeks and you're good to go. Knock on wood. And then usually up to about early April here in central Oklahoma, which includes the metro, you can see it's a hard line in the sand. We're talking Edmond to Oklahoma City. Once you get from Edmond to Guthrie, it can get to freezes late on average as almost in the second week of April, really. So I know you want to do it. Look, if you do it, you just got to protect your plants. That's all. Just put a little plastic on them. Some of that what's it called? The little stuff you put on the plants. I can't think of the term. I'm sure you guys will. It's like a knapsack or something. Old school. All right, so anyway, there you go. So that takes care of the freeze situation. I know a lot of you are out there getting your gardens ready and stuff, so have at it. All right, now let's move on to the severe weather threat. All right, this is the long-range look from the Severe Weather Outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. And as you can see, really the only thing that has a slight risk is on Wednesday. That's highlighted over here into Arkansas. Now, Thursday, a little bit here in eastern Oklahoma. It's what they call a marginal, which means not necessarily severe, kind of borderline. Nothing they have highlighted on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday, nothing yet. But that's way out there. This will obviously change, be massaged as we go through the days, and the data becomes more clear, but I want to give you at least a heads up so far as to what the threats are. Now, here's a look at what we call the analogs. In other words, we take all these years in the past, and we plot the weather pattern, the forecasted weather pattern here in the future, to see how well it matches up. And if there's a match, the analogs will highlight as a threat for whatever category it may be. So there is a little bit of a match here in this area shaded, very low percentile. I think, did I get a big picture of that? I sure did. And that's this one right here for Thursday. As you can see, it's only in the 10 to 20 to maybe 30% range of probabilities here over eastern Oklahoma for some amount of severe weather. And this is on Thursday, late afternoon and evening as a cold front moves through. So again, very, very low risk. And honestly, this is kind of an outlier as some of the other data is really not even that gung-ho. Remember, that's just where the Storm Prediction Center put a marginal. So they're probably leaning toward this climatology type situation. But as far as the details go, nothing looks too riveting at this point in time. We'll keep an eye on it. Now, future, way down the road. We're talking next week, day 7, day 8. This is the hail probability. So this is around March 17th, March 18th of next week. So as we head from Monday to Tuesday, the parameters are starting to get a little bit better for severe weather. And so it's got a little bit of a hail ring here over Oklahoma. Does that mean we're going to get plummeted with hail? No, it just means right now that's the best analogs coming into play here in the extended outlook as to kind of giving us a hint of what may be coming down the road. If we look into the next day, again, kind of highlighted there, March 18th. So not too far from now, pretty much right on schedule. We kind of mentioned the middle of March being the kickoff of severe weather. So that is a probability of hail in that area. Very low. You notice that's 15%. That's almost not even worth mentioning, but I'm going to do it because, hey, 'tis the season, and this is the kind of stuff we'll start to watch for. Now, this is going to be floating around the interwebs, so I'm going to tell you, explain it to you what this is. You're going to see it out there. Now, these guys, I know one of them. I actually went to school with one of them, David Gold. Intelligent, super smart. So what they're trying to do is do something that hasn't been done before in the past, and that is combine a lot of different indices with the forecasted computer models and sea surface temperatures, oscillations for sea movement, and that extends from the Indian Ocean, we're talking about up into the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, Arctic oscillation, like all these little different factors, all right? And they're trying to put them in this magic bowl. They're going to try to bake a cake, all right? Now, last year was the first time they did this, and they showed this much skill. In other words, there was a little bit of skill there. The question is, can they repeat that this year? Now, if they fall flat on their face, that means they got lucky out of the gate, and that means they need to go back to the drawing board, and long-range forecasting is a lot harder than it seems. Now, but now if they can show a little bit more skill this year, they might be onto something with their little magic formula. But regardless, they've got the forecast out for tornado activity. This is what they're going to focus on, and that is highlighted in red. That just means this is the area of potential tornado development, and they have this at the week of, let's see, forecasted from the 21st, 22nd to the 28th. In other words, basically the last week or so of March is when they're highlighted this area to become a lot more active. From the forecast period from middle of March, from the 14th to the 21st, which is next week, they only have what they call an A, which is average. Where they have the above average is where they get down here into the forecast 2 period, which is right around the 21st to the 22nd. So we'll see what happens. That's the magic days they're looking at in their crystal ball. So I'll be watching this for you behind the scenes and we'll report accordingly. So we'll throw that out there, let you know that that does exist. Now, what's going to happen here for tonight? There are some showers and thunderstorms here across the southeastern area of Kansas, and those will be moving off to the south and east overnight on into far northeast Oklahoma in the morning. Let me switch time frames here, get the latest data. So let's see, the time frame on this here is 6 o'clock in the morning. So Tulsa, you get kind of a wind shift line with this, some clouds, maybe a sprinkle. Otherwise, we're talking about Miami. In Delaware County is about the only place going to see any storm activity out of this. You might get just a little bit of hail. For example, I'll plot a forecast sounding. This is what we call an elevated sounding, which means there is no instability down here at the lowest levels. This is all stable. So all the instability is from here up. All right. So what that means is going to be an elevated type thunderstorm. There is some shear at play. So what that means is there will be a little bit of rotation in the upper levels to slightly mid-level. In this particular case, only thing that can do for you is produce some small hail. So you might get a little bit of hail with that. A couple of those stronger storms here in far northeast Oklahoma and the southwest Missouri, and that'll move on into Arkansas as we head to the mid to late morning hours rather quickly, and then skirting on through. So if you live in Arkansas, the northern half of the state, that'll be your threat there for the mid-morning hours. Now, we go on through time. Remember that little analog for Thursday? Well, here we go. Here's the front moving through on, let's see, this is Thursday evening. It runs something like this. All right, so there will be some thunderstorms that try to bubble up along this front. And as if you notice, they're not doing much of an easy time. They're struggling, but there's a few out there. So there's a little bit of a light signal for a few thunderstorms. A couple of those could potentially be severe, especially in Arkansas and far, far southeast Oklahoma. Otherwise, you can tell the body of the state, storm-free. But we're going to get a cold north wind blowing in here, which is going to blow that nice weather we got for tomorrow out of the water. Now, as it's going to Friday morning, what you can see is some more sprinkle activity moving on in. So that means Friday, expect kind of a cloudy, off and on kind of a dreary day. You'll see some snow out here, and this will move on into Kansas during the day on Friday on into Saturday. Let's take a look at temperatures real quick, and then I'll show you the weekend, and then we're going to turn you loose. Let's see here. So we mentioned tomorrow, let's see, what is that, 67, 73 here in central Oklahoma, 71. Oh, gorgeous afternoon. 80s down in Dallas. Woo! Even the 60s up north. Now, that front will come in. The cold air will be a little slow to move in behind it. It'll eventually get there. Now, as we head into Friday morning, we're looking into mid the 50s across the state. Clouds, of course, will increase. Now, this model, let's see this. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm a day ahead. This is Wednesday. Hello, Aaron. This is tomorrow, Wednesday. I'm thinking tomorrow's Thursday. Ooh, I'm already ready for the weekend. So that's why the little cold air was lagging. I was like, that shouldn't be lagging that much. All right, here's Thursday, midday. Good grief, 77 degrees in the 80s down across North Texas. And then as we head into, man, look at that, almost 90. Wow, scorcher. All right, as we head into Thursday afternoon, so here's the colder air starting to move on in from Kansas, moving in from the north. We still hit the 70s, though, easy here in central Oklahoma. As we head into Friday morning, that's when things should start to cool down. Yeah, we got plenty of 40s out there from the northern and central parts of the state. Temperatures won't warm up a whole lot from this point. They're going to be kind of stuck upper 40s to maybe low 50s for Friday afternoon because of the increase in clouds and a little bit of that light rain. Now, the light rain will get heavier, and we're going to talk about how heavy here. Let's see, let's go at this point in time. So here's a look at the upper levels of the atmosphere. This is a storm system out here across the desert southwest, just southwest of California. So it's going to kind of come up to the east and then fizzle. In other words, it's going to kind of fall apart, become more of a trough axis. And for us, when that happens, it loses a lot of its punch. But regardless, that's coming on in, and here's how it kind of meanders on into our region by the time we head into Saturday morning. So you can see it's no longer a closed low. It's more like just this broad open trough. What that does is it limits any threat of severe weather. That goes out the window. Of course, we've already had a cold air mass in here anyway, so that limits it. So that's all good news. It's just going to be a rainmaker. So we'll see how much rain it's going to produce here on this next map. So let me switch gears here. Let's see. We'll start with, what do I want to start with? We'll go with this guy first. Well, actually, I wasn't that guy. Let me see how much rain it's got for us so far out of this. Because the heavier rain, let's say, will come in Friday evening on into Saturday morning. So that's where we're going to get the bulk of the heavier activity. So this is during the day on Friday. So you can see it's not really heavy, kind of hit and miss. Here's Friday evening, finally get some good rain moving through on into, there's Friday night, Saturday morning. And then the snow is up north into the northern, let's say, half of Kansas mostly. A little bit maybe south of the halfway point, but not a whole lot. So let's see what kind of rainfall comes out of this particular model from this batch of rain. And not bad. Look at about 3/4 of an inch here in Oklahoma City. Close to an inch in some spots here in northeast Oklahoma. There's Tulsa checking at an inch. And as we head into southeast Oklahoma, also some good rainfall amounts. So a lot of good rain out of this system coming in for Friday on into Saturday. That's what I like to see. Let's go long range, and then we're going to cut this, and you guys can ask a couple of questions, and then we'll all go to bed. Well, or at least get ready for bed or something. Go see. Here's a look at the long-range model here for the weekend. It's got also about the same kind of amount. It's got a little higher rainfall totals in southeast Oklahoma, around an inch, maybe even higher than that. But pretty close what the other model had for central northeast Oklahoma. So that's pretty good. Now, let me go into another viewpoint here. All right. So the other thing about severe weather this weekend, if you're wondering, so this is Saturday morning. First off, it's coming in at the wrong time of the day. It's coming in the morning hours. Very hard to get severe weather in the morning hours, just so you know. Even though our shear profile is actually really conducive for tornadoes. I mean, if I had this shear profile and we had a threat for tornadoes that day, I'd be like, yep, that's a good profile for tornadoes. Even the photograph up there looks pretty good. Now, the issue is that with that cold front coming in, from everything from here down is negative buoyancy, meaning that there's no lift in the atmosphere. It's all sinking motion, which is it's an inversion layer. It's cold, it's dense, it's 41 degrees, so nothing's going to happen. Now, all the elevated instabilities up here, so kind of similar to what I showed you for Wednesday morning. We might get a little bit of hail mixed in with some of those showers and a little thunder activity for Saturday morning. That's about the most you can hope for as far as anything surprising out of this system on Saturday morning because of that sounding profile. All right, let's go on to next week. Now, Sunday has gone back and forth between dry and wet in the model data. That's been a thorn in my side because I really want to dry it out for Sunday, and I really would like to keep it dry. It's just we're in an unsettled pattern. Now, the shear profile is still conducive for tornado type activity, although we're not going to have it because, again, we're not. Let me take a look here. All right, so this is interesting. So I haven't looked at this data yet, but down here at the surface, we're stable at 59 degrees. But that's the very, very lowest 300 kilometers, or excuse me, 300 meters. Above that, we're unstable. We're almost neutral, then we're unstable. Okay, now this can be conducive for a surprise tornado in this particular case because the shear is decent. The hodograph's very decent. So in this particular case, if we were to say warm up to 61 degrees, that makes a huge difference versus 59, or maybe we're 63. So Sunday I'm going to have to watch as something that could change for some severe weather around here that would lead to that kind of potential. That's just looking at this one model, this one sounding, and that does not mean it's going to happen. That's just something I just happened to catch, which I was hoping for a dry day with no severe weather, and I'm looking at that going, well, I'm going to have to rethink that and look at it harder as we go through the next couple of days. That's all that means. All right, so here's Monday, pretty dry. Tuesday, here's some storm activity here for you across the state again, but a cold front comes in. Matter of fact, the front by Tuesday afternoon is already like this. So any storm activity confined mostly into the midday hours. Good strong front behind it. That clears us out. So Wednesday's looking good. Thursday, and then here's Thursday afternoon. Looks like a stormy day next week. Let's see, we go from there. Let's see, we skip Friday. There's Friday, more storminess. So if you read and there's another day for Saturday. So good grief. So if you read my blog, I said an unsettled pattern is underway. Well, this is it. This is our unsettled pattern. Welcome to spring time in Oklahoma. So there you go. It's a mess. It's a lot to iron out in detail for you. I'm not going to do it here tonight, but I want to give you a sneak peek that if you're wanting rain, you haven't had enough, trust me, you're going to get plenty over the next, looks like 7, maybe even 10 days. And then we'll probably deal with at least a little bit of severe weather from what we've looked at so far, those indices. Okay, that's what I got here for you for tonight. Quick round robin, and then we'll see what you got here for us. All right, Lauren says on YouTube, no, I haven't had a chance to clean my shelter yet. You better get on it. Angela, burlap, yes. Oh, I could not think of this stupid term. It was killing me. You have no idea. It's kind of like, where'd I put my keys? Oh, that's annoying. All right, no comments or questions on the Twitter Periscope, you guys? Yeah, come on, y'all need to step up. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's go to the patron page for Facebook. You guys have any questions for me real quick? Karen says, out of sync, and the feed is stuttering. Super glitchy. Oh, someone was, that was you. Wasn't it you that night that was having repeating or something? I think it was, no, someone else had the Sprint or something. It was doing something weird with repeating. Okay, main page, real quick. Scroll through. Some of you had some issues on your video, but others of you have said nothing. So I can't tell if it's spotty, or if it's some of your providers, or if it's a particular feed or not. A lot of you guys have said burlap, though. That's hilarious. I'm glad it depends on y'all to help me out. I can't remember what I'm thinking about or doing. All right. Hey, Jody, you lagging in there?
I'm not.
You're not lagging?
No.
Everything's in sync?
Yeah.
Oh, something you guys need to get some better Wi-Fi. Ashley, you say it's out of sync. Go out and go back in. Or changed from, I don't know, another Facebook page, YouTube page, Twitter page. I don't know, try that, see if that helps you out. But majority of it seems to be okay, so that tells me it's got to be a individual issue, I'm guessing. I don't know. It's always hard to pinpoint those things, but see, Timothy says it's great on my end. So, hey, it's great on my end. I'm just shooting it out. I'm not bringing it back in. So it's easy for me. All right. I think that was it for me, guys. Jay keeps repeating, are you on Sprint? Sprint has a problem with Facebook, apparently. It likes to repeat things. So, anyway. All right, guys, any quick questions? Because otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Good. Jennifer says, no glitches. She wants to know if we're done with freezing. Oh, Jennifer, did you not watch the beginning of this whole broadcast? Oh, girlfriend. Whoa, it's 9:58. I've been on for 25 minutes. Oh, man, I was supposed to make this quick. Okay, well, maybe next time. Listen, I'm going to get out of here. I clearly went over my allotted time. All right, well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. And obviously, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me because it's that time of the year. So we'll do this again. Guys, have a good night. Sweet dreams. We'll talk soon. Bye.